Hello, my name is Lenka. I'm 28 years old, and I come from a small town in Poland. Today, I want to share with you something that changed my life completely. How I learned English in just 6 months. 6 months ago, I was a different person. I was afraid to speak English. I avoided conversations. I didn't believe I could ever be fluent. I thought English was too hard for me. But now, everything has changed. Now, I can speak English with confidence. I can travel, work with international teams, and talk to people from all over the world. If you told me this would happen 6 months ago, I wouldn't believe you. This is not a magic story. I didn't move to London or New York. I didn't pay for expensive teachers. I didn't study all day. I just followed a simple system and practiced every single day. I believe anyone can learn English, yes, even you. If I could do it, so can you. Let me tell you how my journey started. A bad day that changed everything. It all started with a job offer. I had been working in a local IT company for 2 years. I was good at my job. One day, my boss told me, "There's an opportunity in Germany. They're looking for someone with your skills. But you need English." I felt excited and scared. I said, "Of course, I'll apply." But inside, I was panicking. The job interview was in English. It was on Zoom, with 3 people from different countries. I remember sitting at my desk, sweating, my hands shaking. They asked me, "Lenka, can you tell us about your experience?" I understood the question, but I didn't know how to answer. My mouth was dry. My brain stopped working. I said, "Yes, I work, computers. Project manager, many work good." It was a disaster. I could see the faces of the interviewers. They were polite, but I knew I was not ready. I didn't get the job. That night, I felt terrible. I couldn't sleep. I asked myself, why can't I speak English? Why did I waste so much time? But then something changed. Instead of feeling sorry for myself, I made a decision. I will learn English. No matter what, I will not miss another chance. Starting from zero. The next morning, I started my plan. But I didn't want to repeat the same mistakes. I didn't want to only study grammar or memorize vocabulary. I needed to speak. I needed to understand. I needed real English. So I made 3 simple rules for myself. 1. Practice English every day, no excuses. 2. Use English in real-life situations. 3. Focus on speaking, not just studying. I bought a small notebook. On the first page, I wrote, "Day 1, my English journey begins." And that's how it started. The first 30 days, build the habit. In the first month, my goal was simple: build the habit. I didn't expect to speak fluently. I didn't expect fast results. I just wanted to show up, every day. What I did daily: listen to English for 30 minutes. I chose simple podcasts and beginner YouTube channels. I didn't understand everything, but that was okay. Talked to myself in English. When I was walking, cleaning, or cooking, I described what I was doing. I'm washing the dishes. I'm making tea. The sun is shining. Learned 5 useful phrases every day. Not just words, phrases. For example, "I'm not sure. Can you help me? That sounds great." Used flashcards on my phone. I used an app to practice vocabulary, just for 10 minutes a day. The key was consistency. I didn't skip a single day. Even on weekends, even when I was tired, I did something small. After 30 days, something amazing happened. My brain started thinking in English. 10 sentences that changed my life. One of the best things I did was create a personal list of 10 sentences I used every day. I called them my life sentences. Here are some of them. Can you say that again, please? I don't understand yet, but I'm learning. I speak a little English. What do you mean? I like this song. I practiced them every morning, 5 times each, out loud, looking in the mirror. At first it felt strange. But after 1 week, I could say them without thinking. These sentences gave me confidence. I started using them in real conversations, with friends, colleagues, even strangers online. Facing my fear. Speaking to people. The biggest fear I had was talking to real people. What if I make mistakes? What if they laugh? But I knew I had to do it. I joined a free speaking group online, just 1 hour per week. The first time, I was nervous. I said only a few words. The second time, I said a full sentence. The third time, I told a short story. Week by week, I got better. The group was friendly. Everyone was learning. I wasn't alone. End of part 1. This is just the beginning of my journey. In the next part, I'll tell you what I did in month 2 and 3, how I improved my listening, how I trained my pronunciation, and how I stopped translating in my head. How I learned English in 6 months. Part 2. Real progress, months 2 and 3. By the end of the first month, something inside me had changed. No, I wasn't fluent yet, but I was no longer afraid. I was excited. English was not a scary subject anymore. It was something I used every day. It was becoming a part of my life. So in the second and third month, I decided to go deeper. I wanted to understand more, speak better, and stop thinking in my native language. This is where my progress became real. Listening like a baby. When babies learn to talk, they listen first, for months, before they say their first word. So I decided to become like a baby again. Every morning, I listened to English for 30 to 60 minutes. But not just anything. I chose content that was easy to understand, interesting to me, with real voices, not robotic. My favorite resources were easy English podcasts, YouTube channels for English learners, short TV shows with English subtitles, audiobooks for beginners. I listened while walking, cooking, or even doing laundry. I didn't need to understand every word. I focused on getting the meaning and feeling the rhythm of English. After 3 weeks, I noticed that I started catching full phrases. I started guessing the meaning of new words. My ears were finally waking up. The shadow technique. One day, I watched a video of an English teacher saying, if you want to speak like a native, you have to copy natives. So I tried his method, called shadowing. It changed my speaking completely. Here's how I did it. 1. I picked a short English video, 1 to 2 minutes. 2. I played one sentence. 3. I paused and repeated it immediately, trying to copy the voice, speed, and emotion. 4. I repeated the same sentence 5 to 10 times until it felt natural. Example sentence. I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? I repeated. I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? Over and over, until I could say it smoothly. This helped me with pronunciation, intonation, confidence. I did this every evening for 20 to 30 minutes. At first, it felt silly. But after a few weeks, I sounded more natural and clear. No more translating in my head. This was a big goal for me. I used to hear something in English, translate it into Polish, think of an answer, translate it back into English, and then speak. It was slow and stressful. So I trained my brain to think directly in English. Here's how I did it. Described everything around me in English. Example. The sky is gray. The bus is late. I'm feeling tired. Asked myself simple questions, like, what time is it? It's 8:30. What do I need today? I need to buy milk. Wrote my daily journal in English. Every night before sleep, I wrote 5 to 10 sentences about my day. Example. Today I worked from home. I had a meeting at 10 a.m. It went well. I made pasta for lunch. In the evening, I watched a movie. After 1 month of this, I stopped translating. Words came more quickly. I began to think in English. Conversations that helped me grow. One thing helped me more than anything else. Real conversations. Not grammar books. Not vocabulary apps. Just talking. I continued joining online speaking groups. I also made 2 language partners on an app. We talked for 30 minutes twice a week, half the time in English, half in their language. Every conversation taught me something new, a new word or phrase. A better way to express myself. More confidence. Yes, I still made mistakes. But guess what? Nobody cared. They listened. They smiled. They helped. Speaking became easier. My sentences got longer. I even started telling jokes. Vocabulary. Learning smarter. I stopped trying to memorize long lists of words. Instead, I started learning words in context. Here's what worked best. Mini stories with new words. Every day I picked 3 to 5 new words. I created a short, funny story using them. Example. Words. Lost, rain, map, stranger, lucky. Story. I got lost in the rain. My map was wet. A stranger helped me. I was lucky. Using new words immediately. I used them in my journal or conversations the same day. Reviewing with flashcards, but only 5 minutes a day. I didn't try to learn everything. I just tried to use what I learned. Small wins equals big motivation. In the beginning, I wanted big results fast. But I realized that small wins kept me going. Here are some wins I celebrated. First full sentence without stopping. First time ordering food in English. First time understanding a podcast without subtitles. First time telling a story in English. Every small win gave me energy to keep going. End of part 2. In these 2 months, my English improved more than in years of school. And it was just the middle of the journey. In part 3, I'll show you how I pushed myself further in months 4 to 6, advanced practice methods. How I overcame my fear of native speakers, my final test, and the moment I knew I was fluent. How I learned English in 6 months. Part 3. Breaking through, months 4 to 6. After 3 months of daily practice, I had come a long way. I could speak more fluently, I understood basic conversations, and I felt more confident. But I also knew that I still had a long way to go. I didn't want to stop at, okay. I wanted to reach real fluency. I wanted to understand native speakers, even when they talked fast. I wanted to speak naturally, without fear, without mistakes. So I made the second half of my journey even more focused and powerful. Pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Until now, I was mostly practicing on my own or with other learners. It was safe, but I knew the real world was not so easy. So I made a scary but important decision: start talking to native English speakers. I joined a website where you can talk to tutors and native speakers for practice. I booked a 30-minute session with an American teacher. Before the call, I was shaking. I thought about canceling, but I didn't. The teacher was kind. She spoke clearly and slowly. She asked me about my job, my hobbies, and why I wanted to learn English. I spoke slowly, but I did it. After the session, I felt so proud. I realized it wasn't perfect, but I had survived. I had communicated, so I booked more sessions. Once a week, then twice. These conversations helped me so much. I learned natural expressions. I got corrections and tips. I heard different accents. I stopped being afraid of real conversations. Fixing my weak spots. At this point, I could speak, listen, and write at an intermediate level. But I still had some weak areas. Grammar. I didn't study grammar much at first. But now I started noticing things I didn't understand. I've been working here for 2 years. Why have been? He was supposed to call me. What does supposed to mean? So I started writing down questions when I heard or read something strange. Then I searched online or asked my tutor. I didn't learn grammar from books. I learned it from real life. I focused only on what I needed, not everything. I also wrote simple example sentences to practice each new rule. This made the grammar feel real and useful. Pronunciation. People understood me, but I still had a strong accent. So I created a new routine. Every morning, I recorded myself reading a short text. Then I compared my voice to a native speaker reading the same text. I listened carefully and tried to match the sounds. I repeated it again and again. It was slow, but after 2 weeks, my pronunciation improved a lot. I sounded more natural, and I felt more confident speaking in public. Advanced shadowing. Real conversations. Now I wanted to challenge myself even more. I found short clips from movies and interviews, 1 to 3 minutes long, and used them for shadowing. This time, I didn't just repeat the sentences. I tried to understand the speaker's emotion, copy their tone, and even act a little. For example, I shadowed a scene from a drama movie where someone was angry. I copied their energy and expression. It was fun, like I was training to be an actor. This made my speech more expressive and fluent. I sounded less like a robot and more like a real person. Real-life practice. Shopping, emails, and calls. I started using English in my real life as much as I could. I changed my phone and apps to English. I wrote emails in English to international clients. I ordered things online from English websites. I even called customer service in English. Very scary at first, but powerful. Every time I used English in a real situation, I felt stronger. English was no longer something I practiced. It was something I lived. Measuring my progress. In month 5, I wanted to check how far I had come. So I did 3 tests. 1. A practice job interview in English, with a friend playing the interviewer. I prepared answers to 10 common questions and practiced them until I could say them smoothly. 2. A 3-minute speech on a topic I liked. I recorded myself talking about how technology changed my life. I listened, checked mistakes, and recorded it again. 3. A video call with a native English speaker. I joined an online discussion group where people talked about travel. I listened, shared my story, and even asked questions. All 3 went well. Not perfect, but I could see my growth. I had gone from being silent to being confident. The final month, from learner to speaker. In the 6th month, I made one big shift. I stopped thinking of myself as a student of English. I started thinking of myself as an English speaker. This small mental change made a huge difference. I no longer said, I'm learning English. I said, I speak English. I no longer said, my English is not good. I said, I'm improving every day. This change in identity gave me more power. I was not just someone trying. I was someone doing. What I did in month 6. Spoke English for at least 2 hours a day. Talking, shadowing, or recording myself. Read short books in English. Not textbooks, real books with simple language. Wrote blog posts and shared them online. This helped me practice writing and get feedback. Watched movies without subtitles. I didn't understand everything, but I tried to follow the story. It was great listening practice. Taught someone else. I helped a beginner from another country with basic English. Teaching helped me learn even more. The moment I knew I was fluent. One evening, I got an email from the same company that had rejected me 6 months earlier. They had a new position. And they remembered me. This time, I was ready. I did the interview in English, and I felt great. I answered every question with confidence. I used jokes. I asked questions. I didn't just survive, I impressed them. A week later, I got the job. End of part 3. In 6 months, I had transformed. Not just my English, but also my confidence, my habits, and my life. In the final part, I'll share with you everything I learned. The key habits I built. The mindset that kept me going. The tools and methods that worked best. And how you can follow the same path. How I learned English in 6 months. Part 4. Lessons, habits, and final tips. After 6 months of daily practice, challenges, and real effort, I reached my goal. I became fluent in English. But more important than the result was everything I learned along the way, not just about English, but about learning, motivation, and myself. In this final part, I want to share the most powerful lessons from my journey. These are the tools, habits, and ideas that helped me the most, and that can help you too. 1. Mindset is everything. This is the most important lesson of all. When I started, I believed that I was bad at English. I thought I didn't have talent for languages. I told myself things like, I always forget words. I can't speak fast. I make too many mistakes. But then I realized, the problem was not my ability. The problem was my mindset. So I changed the way I talked to myself. I started saying, I'm learning something new every day. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm getting better with every sentence I speak. And guess what? It worked. The more I believed I could learn English, the faster I improved. Believe in yourself. Be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself like you would to your best friend. 2. Create a daily English habit. Fluency doesn't come from one big lesson. It comes from small actions, repeated every day. Here's the daily routine I followed for 6 months. Morning, 15 to 30 minutes, repeat useful phrases out loud. Listen to an English podcast or video. Do 5 minutes of shadowing. Afternoon, 10 to 20 minutes, use flashcards or write short sentences with new words. Read something simple in English, a blog, news, story. Evening, 20 to 30 minutes, speak to myself or a language partner. Write a journal entry. Watch a short video clip and repeat sentences. You don't need hours. Even 30 minutes a day can change everything, if you do it every day. 3. Use English for real life, not just tests. Forget boring grammar rules and memorizing lists. Learn English to use it, not just to pass exams. Here's how I did that. I spoke to real people. I used English when shopping online or booking a trip. I followed English-speaking YouTubers and influencers. I used English at work, writing emails, joining meetings, chatting with colleagues. The more you connect English to your real life, the more fun and useful it becomes. 4. Don't fear mistakes, use them. One of the biggest things that slows learners down is the fear of making mistakes. I used to worry all the time. What if I say something wrong? What if I sound stupid? But I learned that mistakes are part of the process. When I made a mistake and someone corrected me, I remembered it better. When I said something wrong and it made someone laugh, it became a funny story I never forgot. Now, I even enjoy my mistakes. They show that I'm learning. They are proof that I'm trying. 5. Shadowing changed my speaking. If I had to choose just one technique that helped my pronunciation and fluency the most, it would be shadowing. It made me speak more naturally, improve my accent, sound more confident, think faster in English. You don't need a teacher. Just pick a short clip, repeat every sentence, and match the speaker's tone. Do this every day for 2 weeks, and you'll be surprised by the results. 6. Thinking in English is possible and powerful. You don't need to translate everything. At first, I thought in Polish, then translated into English. It was slow and stressful. But I trained myself to think directly in English, describing objects around me, asking and answering simple questions, writing a diary, talking to myself. Now, when I want to say something, the words come in English. It feels automatic. You can reach this point too, with daily practice. 7. Track your progress. Sometimes it's hard to see how much you're improving. That's why I started tracking my progress. I recorded myself speaking once a week. I wrote short texts and compared them every month. I made lists of new phrases I learned. I took screenshots of messages I sent in English. When I felt discouraged, I looked back and saw how far I had come. It gave me the motivation to keep going. 8. Enjoy the process. Learning English should not feel like punishment. You don't have to study from a boring book. You can learn from music you love, funny YouTube videos, podcasts about your hobbies, friends from other countries, interesting movies or series. The more you enjoy the process, the faster you will learn. Final words. You can do it too. 6 months ago, I couldn't say a full sentence in English without stopping. Now, I can do job interviews, give presentations, and make friends in English, all because I decided to start and stay consistent. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to move abroad. You just need a reason to start, and the discipline to keep going. If you can practice every day, make mistakes, and believe in yourself, you will reach fluency faster than you think. This journey has changed my life, and it can change yours too. What you can do now. If you want to start your own 6-month journey, here's what I recommend. 1. Make a clear goal. I want to speak English at work. I want to travel and speak with locals. I want to make international friends. 2. Create a simple daily routine. Start small, 20 to 30 minutes a day. 3. Use English in real situations. Speak, listen, write, read, every day. 4. Be consistent. Don't worry about speed. Worry about consistency. 5. Celebrate small wins. Every time you learn something new, smile. You're moving forward. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it gave you motivation and practical steps to start learning English with confidence. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. I believe in you. Let's learn English and change our lives, one day at a time. I'm Lenka from Learn Smarter, and I believe in you. See you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Do you want to learn more English? Watch our next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.